Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe for multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines, and many other sectors.
The oldest and the largest cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, is on the move again. In fact, Bitcoin has crossed the level of $50,000 for the first time since 2 years. In fact, when we look at the past, you will get to see that 2021, 2022 and 2023 were 3 painful years for the entire cryptocurrency ecosystem. There were regulatory hurdles, there was a lot of issues that were taking place, of course, and which is why we did see the entire market coming under a long winter, which was being seen as a crypto winter. But now that Bitcoin is back above $50,000, this has brought focus back into the crypto market. Now, to understand whether there is something for all the viewers, investors who take keen interest in this industry to take note of at this point in time, what are the factors driving this rally in Bitcoin and what does it mean for the investors at large as well, I'm going to be speaking to somebody very special on this edition. Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today TV. I'm Sakshi Patra and with me on this show is Parth Chaturvedi. He's the investments lead at CoinSwitch. Parth, welcome to Business Today Television. Good to have you with us. Well, I'm sure that you must be receiving a whole host of calls since last night. When the headlines flashed that about $50,000 is the price that Bitcoin is back at. Tell us what are the 2 or 3 key factors which is driving this rally back above 50,000 for Bitcoin?
Thank you so much, Sakshi, for having me on the show. And you are totally correct. The phone calls have been ringing, as well as personally also I was looking at the price, because 50,000 is a very psychologically important level for Bitcoin. And what you mentioned in the beginning is also correct. The crypto industry has been going through a winter of sorts for the last 2 years. Having said that, 2023, if you see Bitcoin prices, they have moved up by almost 135-40% in 2023 itself. The primary reason for this increase in price has been the launch of spot Bitcoin ETFs in the United States. So this is a demand of the industry since probably 10 years now. So they had been reaching out to the regulator, their SEC, to give the approval for spot ETF. So there are futures ETFs that already trade in the US, but a spot ETF is different because the issuer has to actually hold Bitcoin. Only then can it issue the tracker product or the ETF on top of that. And basically the who's who of traditional finance is now looking at Bitcoin as an asset. Primarily, the biggest asset manager in the world, BlackRock, now has over $3.5 billion in its spot Bitcoin ETF. Fidelity, another major player, has over $3 billion in their spot Bitcoin ETF. And this has happened only in the last 1 month. They launched the ETFs. They have been the most successful ETF launches ever. They were the fastest to reach that $3 billion in accumulation mark. And because of that, now we are seeing a constant interest from traditional finance folks to invest in Bitcoin as an asset class. I want to highlight on this again. Why are ETFs important? Because ETFs make it very easy for you to own exposure to Bitcoin as an asset class. You don't have to worry about holding the private keys. You don't have to worry about maintaining a wallet. Now what you can do in the US, you can just tell your asset manager to he's buying you equity ETFs, he can also add Bitcoin to your portfolio mix. And that is exactly what is happening. So Fidelity has in fact gone out in Canada to launch a product called their all-in ETF, where 1% allocation passively goes to Bitcoin. So why are they doing this? Because it really gives a boost to your overall portfolio in terms of risk-adjusted returns. Any portfolio which will even have very simple to equities. Like you would want to have a small cap exposure to get that kind of risk adjusted return. Similarly, think of crypto as a risky asset class that you, if added to your portfolio, can increase your overall returns.
Okay, so the presence of a Bitcoin ETF in the US has definitely boosted this mass adoption of the digital assets. It's also created a solid template for other economies to leverage on the potential of digital assets, and perhaps that is something that is aiding the sentiments as of now as well. And with the rise of Bitcoin above $50,000 for the first time in 2 years, we've also seen that the total crypto market cap has now risen to about $1.9 trillion dollars as well, and this is also for the first time in 2 years. And now I want to understand, along with this, we are also looking at some other cryptos that are also looking at breaking some of the initial resistances. So an Ethereum, for example, is also looking to break its resistance of $2,700 as well. What does it really mean for the entire crypto universe and most popular coins that are tracked widely? Will this also aid momentum in the others?
So, Sakshi, one thing I have to specify here: look at Bitcoin as a different asset versus like rest of crypto, because the
Okay.
narrative that Bitcoin has for an investment in this asset class is that of digital gold. It is a store of value. There is only going to be ever 21 million worth of Bitcoin. There is no way to increase that supply. There is no way to increase effect changes on the supply schedule as well. So. In that sense, Bitcoin sort of leads the market. Like the entire crypto market follows what Bitcoin price action does, and that is why we start seeing flows move from Bitcoin into altcoins. We call them altcoins. So think of it as whenever equity markets start going up, first the money goes into the blue chips, and then from the blue chips, as people start taking more risks, they try to funnel down to the more riskier stocks. Similarly, in crypto, money is going to flow into Bitcoin, and then what we call the alt season will begin, and that capital will rotate into Ethereum competitors like Solana, and we have already seen like Solana rally from almost $10 to $100 in the last year. So those are some of the bigger players that are playing out. Ethereum itself has also applied for ETFs, so that has a May deadline. So if we see like any of those ETFs getting approval, we can expect a similar rally in ETH as well.
Okay. There is also an anticipation around Bitcoin's upcoming halving in
Okay.
April, which is a process that's designed to reduce the rate of Bitcoin issuance. Could you explain to us what this process is all about, and how is that likely to also aid the positive sentiment around Bitcoin rally?
So again, like none of this is investment advice, but historically, what we have seen is Bitcoin halving is the event after which prices rally, and it's a very simple reason for that. So what is Bitcoin halving? It is a reduction of supply by half. There are only two ways in which you can get Bitcoin. You can buy it from somebody else, or you can mine it. So that process of mining Bitcoin gives you rewards, and those rewards, after a specific set of period of time, they are reduced into half. So when the Bitcoin network began, there were 50 Bitcoins that were issued for each block. Right now, that number is at 6.25. So we've had 3 rounds of halving already. In April, we are expecting the fourth halving, after which the rewards are going to drop to 3.125. To put this in context, this is a very interesting statistic. The spot Bitcoin ETFs which have been launched, they have daily demand of around almost like 5,000 to 10,000 Bitcoin, and daily new Bitcoin that is being released right now is 900. So just the supply demand imbalance is going to result into price action, and that supply is also going to get reduced to like about 450 new Bitcoin every day. And if we see the passive flows continue at the pace that they've been going, we can expect as in the past as well, in previous halving cycles, to price to increase. And this is again like built in the algorithm. Nobody can change it. Bitcoin being the most resistant network in the world will continue minting those new coins as per the supply schedule.
Okay. So what is the outlook on the rally that you're expecting at this point in time on Bitcoin? What are the experts or discussions around Bitcoin really suggest at this point?
So we are totally in uncharted territory. And anybody who's giving you any price targets, like I would say, like you can't really like put this in perspective. It is a
Yeah.
new asset class which is emerging, and the funny fact is now we have a commodity ETF for an actually limited asset. Like gold supply is controlled by the miners. Like if gold prices start increasing, miners will start digging in more and get more gold out. This cannot happen with Bitcoin. So I really think we are in totally uncharted territories. There is also an interest rate cut which is expected, in 2024, maybe multiple interest rate cuts that happen. And whenever that happens, it's always good for risk on assets. And crypto being the most riskiest asset of them all will obviously benefit whenever the interest rate cuts happen. So both on the macro front as well as on the supply demand dynamics, we seem to be in a very good place for the second half of 2024. April halving event, big event to watch out for. Like all industry experts are looking at that. Next up is going to be Ethereum's ETF approval. If that also
Okay.
materializes, we can see like a much broader rally, which is right now being led by Bitcoin, will probably start moving into other altcoins as well.
Okay. So are there finally signs that the crypto winter may be ending?
I think spring is already here, if I can put it like that. And we are just shy of about I think less than 20% of all-time highs. And the pace that which the price has increased in the last like 2 weeks, I definitely think that there is a possibility we reach all-time highs before the halving event itself.
Okay. All right. Well, with that, thanks a lot, Parth, for being with us onto this special edition and helping us understand what's behind the Bitcoin rally that we are seeing unfold before us, as well as what is the outlook going forward, the key factors and the key events that are likely to impact the move of Bitcoin even going forward and the entire crypto universe at large too. Many thanks for being with us, Parth.
Thank you, Sakshi. Thank you for having me. Pleasure to be here.
All right, and with that, we wrap up this very special edition on Bitcoin. In case you've been wondering what suddenly has happened overnight or over the last few days, why has there been a sudden spurt in Bitcoin? Why has it again retested $50,000? What does it really mean for you as investors at this point in time? It is extremely important to have extreme caution when you are looking at crypto universe. Remember, there have been a lot of regulatory issues, a clampdown happening from the country's government as well, and therefore the central government has been clearly against it for any kind of risky assets that might impact investors at large. So please do take enough and more caution and speak to your financial advisors before taking your first steps towards crypto space. And in case you are a long-term investor into Bitcoin as well, please at this point in time do speak to your own individual financial advisors. This is just a video which was for an information purpose, where we have told you what exactly is happening in the crypto universe at this point in time and the events that are likely to follow going forward. With that, we wrap up this edition. Many thanks for joining us, but do stay tuned as action continues on the other side.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe from multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines, and many other sectors.
Celebrate 32 years of leadership in business news with Business Today. From the groundbreaking AI cover of Sundar Pichai to PM Modi's exclusive on G20, we redefine headlines. Now our 32nd anniversary issue explores India 2029, the 5-year agenda, with industry titans sharing exclusive insights. So, just BT it for unparalleled perspectives. Business Today, 32 years of leadership, innovation, and business brilliance. Subscribe now. In today's rapidly evolving business environment, when risk is omnipresent, Managing risks is no longer just about ticking a few boxes. Businesses need to maintain a panoramic view of risks to stay ahead of the curve. Join us to explore how organizations can rethink risk to unlock new possibilities and become fit for future. At PwC presents De-Risking the Future in collaboration with Business Today.